It's always good.
That girl's the reason why I don't like the Cubs, but that's beside the point. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest has a conflict of interest all week long. He is covering ABC. He's covering the Cubs for ABC News, and in terms of full disclosure, a diehard Cubs fan. Good morning, Ryan Burrow.
Good morning. Already looking at the weather forecast for Friday. It's going to be a lot better than it was in Cleveland last night. Temperatures in the 60s. Wind gusts, by the way, blowing out at 40 miles an hour. So could be an offensive struggle. Maybe not so much. Maybe it would be a defensive struggle.
40-mile-an-hour winds they're calling for game time?
Wind gusts. So 25-mile-an-hour sustained winds blowing out and maybe gusts of up to 40 miles an hour. It's going to be really strange because it's cold right now and it's supposed to warm up. So it's one of those weird kind of warm-up patterns.
You sure that's just not the hot air coming from all of the Cub fans out there?
Could be.
See what I did there? Yeah.
Could be. I got to tell you, I was interviewing fans at bars last night, and it does seem, after that win and coming back to Chicago, maybe some of these fans are getting out in front of their ski tips a little bit. But we'll see. I mean, the mojo is falling in favor of the Cubs right now after that win, after the pitching performance by Jake Arrieta, after the 2 RBIs by Kyle Schwarber coming home. So we'll see.
Yeah. Are they still offering drinks at Harry Carey's at 6 o'clock in the morning for $1.08?
Tomorrow, not today. I mean, you could show up today, but it's going to be tomorrow. You'll probably, if you flip on the television set and flip on the Today Show, I think they're going to be there again for the second time, as well as a bunch of Chicago media outlets are going to be there. But, the party continues.
Is anybody getting any work done in Chicago?
No, it's pretty much no, not at all. I can tell you at my kids' school, I think they've had over the last 3 days over the last 2 weeks, they've had wear your Cubs gear days. So everything's just a little off right now.
What are the White Sox fans doing?
They're commiserating on the south side, very disgruntled right now. There are a lot of people who have been frustrated because I can't tell you how many media outlets have said this is the first time Chicago's seen a World Series since 1945. That's not true. Remember, The White Sox won it in 2005, so history seems to be glossing over the South Siders, and that's not sitting well with a lot of people right now. But I have to tell you, I've also talked with a lot of Sox fans who say, you know what, this team's pretty good, and a bunch of really good guys on the team, no one that we really hate. So
do Cubs, like growing up in New York, Met fans and Yankee fans, they're like Clinton fans and Trump fans. They don't really mix. They don't socialize together. Do Cub fans and White Sox fans socialize together?
Yeah, they're forced to. They're forced to. But the lines are drawn, don't get me wrong. During that White Sox run in the mid-2000s, they did pick up quite a few fans, especially in the suburbs. But for the most part, their fan base has been relegated to, the south side of Chicago. Even if you go into northwest Indiana, you got a lot of Cubs fans, and a lot of that has to do with WGN being the superstation. They were, on TV. So many kids would run home from school, and they'd watch the games on WGN TV with Jack Brickhouse, with Harry Carey. So that's a big part of it right there.
Yeah, St. Louis knows all about Harry Carey because he called a couple of World Series for us. And
funny how that seems to be wiped away from history.
Yeah,
too,
funny. Yeah, people don't remember that up in Chicago. All right, so Friday night, Saturday night in Chicago, a World Series. Any worries about safety, security? Too many people going to Wrigley Field without a ticket just to have fun?
Yeah, that is a big concern for Chicago police. The OEMC, the Office of Emergency Management, holding a press conference yesterday where Superintendent Eddie Johnson, police superintendent, just told everyone, look, if you don't have a ticket, don't come out here because we're setting up perimeters. They're going to have about 1,000 extra cops, whether they be plainclothes officers. They're going to have federal agents out and about in Wrigleyville. They're going to have obviously patrol officers, squad cars, bike cops, horse cops. You name it, they're all going to be out there, and they're going to try to, push everyone back away from the stadium for two reasons. Number one, obviously, it's going to be very, very chaotic at all the bars. And number two, you got to have some place for the people who unload out of the stadium to go to.
Right.
They did a real good job during the NLCS. Basically, in the fifth inning, they started putting up barricades and told everyone to get away from, basically 2 blocks away from Wrigley Field so that the 40,000 people could leave. The problem is everyone swarms with their W flags and nobody's got a place to go, and that's when problems start.
I also heard that bars are charging like $1,000 cover fees to get into a bar.
Yeah, so the deal is you get a table. I mean, you get to reserve it, but $250, a lot of bars in not just Wrigleyville, but in Chicago, you get reserved space to watch the game. A lot of them do have drink packages included in that. But, it does two things. I'm sure the city actually appreciates that because it kind of tamps down some of the riffraff that's entering into the bars. Not everyone can afford the $250. You think you're getting maybe someone who's not going to get stupid drunk, but
right.
I guess you can't guarantee that. And you'll also limit some of the people that are coming downtown. But seeing what people are paying for tickets and parking, I don't know. People seem to be shelling out money like it's nothing.
Ryan Burrow is the man in Chicago as
in the middle of it all.
First time the Cubs have hosted a World Series game since 1945. And good point. Let's not forget the White Sox who won it all back in the 2000s. Ryan Burrow, thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.